All right, we are back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. Carter, Richie, how we doing, fellas?
I am doing good, Duke. How about you?
Can't complain.
Doing great, man. Hey, it's a nice little Tuesday. Nice little Taco Titty Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Got
Tuesday.
it. Tuesday. If you can say it, I can say it. But no, man, I'm happy to be here on a Tuesday. You know, I don't get to jump on a lot of these Tuesday shows, or when you and Richie go live on Thursdays and Tuesdays. I don't get to be a part of those because of, you know, obviously I have my kids and things like that. But I had a little change in schedule this week, so I did a show last night. I apologize if you listened and you could hear my kids in the background. I'm sorry, but tonight we're kid free, so we're gonna jump into it, man. I'm excited. It's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about, and I think that, you know, we it's just an exciting time of year, man. We got playoff football getting ready to kick off. We got Army Navy this weekend. There's just a lot to get to.
Yeah, there is a lot to get to. There's a lot of interesting things. I mean, we got the battle for the Hoosier State.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that, you know, when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's, you know, with the playoffs being here, this is something that we have been waiting for all year to try to get there. You know, it's like a combination of factors leading into this, if that makes any sense.
It does. And Brendan, I agree, man. I have been, has anybody, like, I don't know if you guys deal with like Indiana fans or Notre Dame circles, but like the Indiana fans are real fucking mouthy all of a sudden. And I just want to know, where the hell have you guys been for the past 40 years? Like,
Crickets.
Indiana didn't even have fans. Like, I've been to Indiana games. I was an Ohio State, like, fan or whatever, and I was the majority. You guys didn't exist. Where did you come from? I don't know. That's been an amazing thing that's happened over the past couple days. But Duke, I got something special for you, okay?
All right.
I left it out of the show notes on purpose because I know how much you love the SEC, and Alabama is like your baby. Like, that is, if you guys didn't know, Duke, if you would have told me Duke went to Alabama, I wouldn't be shocked the way that he carries the flag for Alabama. But here's what, I just have a little something to say, you know, and there you go, Duke. There you go. Man, it was a good run. Bama had a good run, but sorry, you're left out.
Let's Bama blitz.
And look at Boise State right down there, just real smiley looking at it like, because I know Duke loves Boise State, and he thinks Boise State has every right to be in the playoff.
Well, it'll be fun whenever they get completely caved in by Penn State, and it's
Is that what's gonna happen, huh?
Yeah, go look at the offensive defensive lines.
We'll see. But I just had to put that up there just for Duke because he's a huge Bama fan, and I just don't get it. But I did see something else, and we'll go through some social media stuff and talk about it. I think I already sent this to Richie, but Notre Dame, what is we doing? Did you guys hear about this Irish Tickler that's running around campus?
What?
No, obviously Duke has not heard about it. Duke, I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. Notre Dame has an Irish Tickler that's running around campus, and this is what he does. He goes through the boys' dorms in the middle of the night dressed up in a onesie, and he tickles unsuspecting boys' feet while they're asleep.
What a weirdo.
Bro, what are we doing?
What the hell's wrong with people? Jesus
What
Christ.
are we doing?
God. That's fucking nasty. Sorry, I mean, it's fucking nasty and fucking weird.
It's weird. It's weird.
Fucking weird.
Duke, are you the Irish Tickler? That's what everybody wants to know on Twitter.
He's the
No.
Irish French tickler.
No, that is. I have
you
better.
sure?
I have better things to do with my time, like root for Alabama.
Like root for Alabama, exactly. But I thought that was weird. Like the Irish Tickler, come on, man. But other than that, we have the playoffs are set. Lane Kiffin seems upset. Did you guys see Lane Kiffin get into it a little bit?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he's been going back and forth with the ACC because he believes Ole Miss should be in the playoffs. First of all, before I throw it out there, Duke, do you think Ole Miss should be in the playoffs?
That's a loaded question.
No, it's not. It's a yes or no. Very simple.
I think if SMU had to play Bama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, they're over. And there's a lot of issues that go into this because of Texas's schedule. They have no ranked wins versus anybody. SMU,
yeah, they suck.
No ranked wins versus anybody. So, but like I said at the beginning of the year, this was going to be an issue when you get rid of the divisions because the conferences are so big. They don't play it. Nobody plays anybody. That's one of the issues because you get the Indiana thing.
You're giving me a politician's answer. Do you think Ole Miss should be in the playoff? Yes or no?
No, just based upon the Kentucky loss.
Okay. Richie, do you think Ole Miss should be in the playoff?
No.
No. All right, good. We're all in agreement there. Ole Miss should not be in the playoff. They had their opportunity, and Lane Kiffin got absolutely owned by Barstool ACC. And oh no, that's the wrong one. Damn it. Hold on. Where'd it go? No, I don't know where it went. Hold on. I thought I had this. My bad. Anyways, there it is. So Lane Kiffin said, you guys actually meet for days and come up with these rankings. Do you actually watch the quality of the players, the teams, road environments, or just try to make the ACC feel relevant? Barstool ACC clapped back, said, homie, we're 2-0. The ACC is 2-0 against the teams you lost to. Louisville beat Kentucky. Miami beat Florida. Why is you talking, Lane? Like, you had every opportunity, and here you are talking about a bunch of shit about the ACC. Like that even matters. Don't lose. It's not that hard. The ACC did it. 8-4 Louisville beat Kentucky. You guys couldn't. At home, by the way.
I think that some of the conversations that I've heard that are going on behind the scenes, the ACC people and the Big 12 people better hang on to their ass because this might be their last playoff.
Which is stupid. I'm so sick of it, and I carry water for the Big Ten a lot of the time, and I respect the SEC. I respect the shit out of the SEC. SEC is great football, but motherfucker, ACC is 2-0 against your opponents that you're 0-2 against. Guess what?
Geez.
Georgia Tech basically beat your champion. You know who beat Georgia Tech? Fucking Clemson.
And
it's weak shit. It's soft ass energy, and I am sick of it. I am sick of the SEC thinking that they are so much better than everybody, which I understand they have been, but you're not that much better. I think this is the closest all 4 conferences have been in the last decade, or is this year?
Based upon record, but
No,
I don't.
not based. No, baseball's cross conference bullshit. What are you talking about? The ACC's done well against the SEC.
It just means more.
I mean, it's fine. It's whatever, but the ACC is probably not even going to exist in 18 months. That's your problem you're looking at because of the revenue
They're
share.
They're definitely going to exist.
I doubt it, but
I mean, they have an ironclad grant of rights that nobody can get out of. There's no way they're not going to exist.
Okay.
Trust me, Florida State has been fighting it for 2 years, and they can't find a way out. Nobody's finding a way out
because the SEC doesn't want any of those teams.
So why all of a sudden would they?
Because there's going to be a break-off that's going to happen.
How?
It's going to be the Big Ten and the SEC. They're going to go do their own thing with a couple other programs.
How?
Huh?
How?
What do you mean? They can tell the TV money is going to be so big when the SEC and the Big Ten
are the TV networks going to fight the antitrust lawsuits they're going to get?
They're not,
because that's why it hasn't happened yet.
They're not going to get any. That's irrelevant. That's what the House versus NCAA comes down to.
No,
they can. The Big Ten and the SEC can leave the NCAA, and that is going to happen.
We'll see.
Wow.
And it's going to be their own thing, and it's out there. It's been out there, and all the water carrying that the Big 12 fans are like, this is great. This is great. Well, what do you think the TV networks are going to pay for? Are they going to pay for the Big 12 versus the ACC fucking college football tournament? No, they're not.
I tell you what, they're not going to pay for is fucking Indiana versus Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah. The TV money is going to be double. It's going to be there.
It's going to be
hey, we'll see. Dude, you heard it here first, maybe. That's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly. This is all you have to do. Just have Group of 5 go in their own league. Power 4 can stay in their league.
They don't want those teams. Dude, they don't want Virginia, Maryland. They don't want them.
Well, the Big Ten has to have Maryland, so that's not negotiable.
But I mean, who's there is going to be there. But I'm
telling you right now, there's no way they could break it off right now. Now down the road, yes, they would have
18 months. This is probably going to be the last. No, this is going to be like the little last thing, and the TV networks are already putting in 3 times the money into this advertising thing.
Okay. I'm just telling you, that's fine. You can put all the money you want. There's still legal ways that the ACC and Big 12 can hold them to the fire.
The SEC's not bound to the ACC or Big 12 by anything.
They're bound to the NCAA. They're bound to antitrust lawsuits.
Yeah, by revenue sharing, the NCAA is fucking worthless. They're hanging on by a thread.
I agree, but they're still bound to antitrust laws.
They're going to be non-existent in 5 years.
It's going to be sooner than that because the Big Ten and the SEC are going to say, deuces, we're going to go do our own thing.
Yeah, maybe. But expect a lot of lawsuits once that happens.
I just don't know. I don't know how that's going to happen.
What do you mean? What are they bound to the NCAA for?
I've already told you.
Football's going to get the exemption. Why do you think they're in Congress lobbying for it?
Oh, I know they're going to ask Congress.
They're going to get it.
Oh, are they? Because Congress can't even pass a law to fucking stop anything. Like Congress doesn't do shit. I doubt it, man. I think you're a little premature. It'll happen eventually for sure.
I just happen to know people that sit in that room. So
in Congress.
Yes.
Oh, what congressman?
Hey, where's your sources at?
That's what I'm asking, man. But that's fine. We'll see what happens. But anyways, we'll see.
I mean, we could bury our heads in the sand and say that this isn't going to happen. But 15 years ago, nobody said they were ever going to get paid. There's never going to be revenue sharing.
Yeah, it took 15 years.
And you want to see the disparity that's going to really happen? It's going to be the teams that spend their revenue sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree with all of that. For sure.
You think they want ACC teams that are only going to spend $5 million on fucking players? Come on.
No, they don't want that.
Unfortunately,
they're bound to it for a little bit.
And it's just, there's going to be some of these schools that are going to look at this, like the academia schools like Stanford and Wake Forest, and they're going to say, this is dumb. We're not doing this anymore.
Wait, is the Big Ten going to stop acting like they're an academic conference?
Oh, the academic.
You know why they don't have Oklahoma and Texas, right? Like Oklahoma and Texas were going to be Big Ten schools, but the Big Ten was too pompous for that because they are AAC.
Yeah.
So you're telling me the Big Ten's going to back down?
The Big Ten's going to have to figure it out because when they're not the number one, when they're not getting the number one revenue check, there's going to be the member institutions freaking out because if you look at CBS's numbers, they suck as far as ratings. I mean, Big Noon won because there was no competition, but
Big Noon didn't win. Big Noon finished third this year.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Big Noon's a trash program. But anyways, as we've already established, it was so good. And a Big Noon kickoff is good. Don't get me wrong. I think that they do a great job. I wish they would get rid of Mark Ingram. He's absolutely awful. He is terrible. I think they were much better when they had Reggie Bush, but that's just me. But I do have it's an Andre Duke special. This is how Andre Duke would fix the playoffs. I have it for you, Richie. I don't know if he presented it to you or not, but here's how Duke would fix the playoffs. I had him write it up and put it on a little note for us. And here you go. This is all you have to do. The SEC is going to withdraw from the college football playoff and create their own. The top 6 schools in the SEC are going to make it. Then they're going to send out invitations to whoever the SEC deems worthy of making the college football playoff. And if they don't think there are 6 schools that are worthy, they'll just fill them with the other SEC schools. It's not a big deal. They're going to get rid of the Rose Bowl for some reason. They really hate that. They're going to get rid of Notre Dame until they join a conference. Duke wants Ohio State to publicly beg to get into the Invitational. And then Michigan has to stop bragging about wins from pre-1900. This is directly from Andre Duke. This is directly from him. I don't care what he says. This is his plan to fix the playoffs. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I know Duke agrees.
The playoff thing is it's going to be similar to that, but you're going to add some Big Ten to it. I mean,
well, that's your 6th invitational.
Why would you be in the Rose Bowl?
They hate the Rose Bowl because they've never been allowed to play in it.
It's just I just can't wrap my head around the world that we're going to give fucking Boise a bye in the college football playoff, but whatever.
We could go down this rabbit hole every time we get on here if you really want to. I've already explained to you why.
It's a joke.
It's not a joke.
It is. Yes, it is. There's football people that actually agree with me on this.
Who? The SEC homers like Paul Feinbaum? Yeah, I'm sure they do.
No. I mean, JB agrees. Coach JB agrees. He thinks it's an absolute joke too. I mean, I'm
not gonna talk shit on JB, but
there's certain programs out there advocating that. Yeah, I was told this weekend that I'm what's wrong with college football. No, Boise State getting a bye is what's wrong with college football.
Why?
That is the problem.
They won their conference.
Thank you.
So so winning the Mountain West is equal to winning the Big Ten.
They won their conference.
That's the whole thing. That is it. You're making the Mountain West equal to winning the Big Ten and the ACC and Big 12 because you treated them the same.
Okay. There are 4 power conferences, right?
Yes.
All 4 champions had the opportunity to get a bye. Did they?
Yeah, but they finagled the rankings. You don't think they did that?
No, they didn't. Fucking
Yes.
Clemson lost 3 games.
Yes,
Don't
they did.
lose 3 games. That's all you have to do is just not lose 3 games. It's not that fucking hard, Alabama. It's not that hard, Ole Miss. Just don't lose 3 games.
This has nothing to do with them.
What do you
mean?
Clemson is a conference champion.
They backed him in at the end of the year
Oh
so they could justify throwing him in there.
No. Boise State was not backed in. No.
Yes, they were. They were ranked high in the preseason. Look at their schedule. They didn't penalize them when they lost to Oregon. They backed him in.
Bro, the Power 4 has the easiest route to buys. Like, the easiest route possible. If Clemson doesn't lose 3 games, guess what? They get a bye.
They get a bye.
If SMU doesn't lose to Clemson in the ACC championship, guess what? They get a bye.
Oh,
there are 3 Power 4 teams that got a bye. The Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12. Now, the ACC fucked up because they couldn't not lose. And I'm sick of hearing of it. Don't lose. It's not that fucking hard. Don't lose 3 games. That's it. That's all. Clemson, fuck out of here. Don't lose 3 games. Not that hard.
Well, they still put them in.
Yeah, they're in because they're a conference champion. They have to get in. Clemson would not be in if they were not a conference champion, but they won their conference. They get an automatic bid for that. But if they didn't lose 3 games, guess what? Boise State doesn't get a bye. So I'm sorry that you're upset that the Mountain West Conference gets a bye. All you have to do is not fucking suck, and you get a bye.
I mean, if that's what we want to do, I mean, we'll keep putting the. Why didn't we put all the conference champions in?
We put the Power 4 and the 5th conference champion. This is how it was written. I mean, this is exactly what you want the American champion in over what?
I mean, might as well. I mean, we're gonna put the Mountain West champion in.
No.
We're gonna get.
You're confused. You're confused.
We're gonna keep putting. Let's keep putting them in. Why don't we just add them? I mean, why don't we have a 134 tournament at this point?
Man, I can't get with you on this, man. I try to see your point of view for most things. I can't get with you on this.
Not the Boise thing. I'm out on this. This is dumb.
It's not that hard.
I'm glad Boise's in.
I don't
to see what kind of metal they're going to be.
They're gonna get smashed. That's what's gonna happen.
You better hope so.
Look at I mean,
you better put $50 on it then.
Depending on who they play. I mean, what they got to play? Penn State.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to play a Power 4 school, and guess what? If they win, you better shut the fuck up.
They might.
My blood pressure. Yeah, I probably should watch that. That's true.
I just think it's dumb. I think the Group of 5 should have their own tournament.
That's fine, and we'll get there eventually. But right now, this is what we have, and it's not that hard. There is no reason anybody should complain about Boise State getting a bye. No reason. Have a conference champion. Have a conference champion that doesn't have 3 losses, and it doesn't happen.
I'm with Brendan here, unless they play Penn State. Because
I don't care. Fuck Penn State.
James Franklin is very high to choke on the chicken bone. Yeah. I just didn't know that you guys were such big Boise fans on this. Now, Chris Peterson back in the day, early 2000s.
I'm not a Boise fan. I just appreciate what we're doing.
But, hey, they won their conference flat out.
Hey, so did Louisiana Lafayette. Where's the argument?
How many losses do they have? How many losses do they have?
1. Or no, they have 2. They forgot. I
forgot. Oh, there you go.
Their starting quarterback got hurt.
Oh, you know who else's did?
Florida State.
The Florida State thing is just.
But no, not even Florida State.
Oh,
SMU.
Georgia.
SMU. SMU's only loss before Clemson, their starting quarterback was out. Should they get a bye?
Well, technically Georgia wouldn't have got in the 4 team, as Brendan says.
Georgia? No. Anyways, this Duke guy seems delusional. Thank you.
What? I mean, you want to watch Boise State? How many Boise State games did you watch all year? I bet it's less than 2.
It doesn't. You don't have to watch to know. It doesn't matter.
I don't think the committee watches. If you think they watch football
games,
you know
they don't watch it. They just go off
stats. They look at box scores.
Yeah, that's fine. Guess what? It's not that hard, and this is what pisses me off. Like, guys, it's not that hard. If you don't lose 3 games, you're in. It's not that hard. Just don't lose 3 games. That's it. And that's not asking too much. You know how many teams haven't lost 3 games? A lot.
Well, if Ohio State would have lost 3, I would have said, do not put their ass in there.
No, they shouldn't have been.
I'd be like, no, don't put their ass in there. They don't deserve to be in there.
It's not that hard.
They deserve to go play at the Tony the Tiger Bowl or something.
Okay, we'll get off the SEC train. Why isn't Miami in? They only lost 2 games.
Because they have 0 ranked wins and lost 2 bad teams. But I could make an argument for Miami over Alabama. Then neither one got in, though.
Okay, then what are we doing with Texas then?
What do you mean? Their 2 losses are to the number 2 seed.
Texas has no ranked wins.
Yeah, but their 2 losses are to the number 2 seed. Miami's 2 losses are to Georgia Tech and Syracuse. A little different.
Well, Syracuse is what, 9-3, and Georgia Tech took Georgia to what, 8 overtimes? We sat here and watched that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're arguing right now.
Well, I mean, if everything's equal, it shouldn't matter. I mean, they're bowl eligible.
No, I mean the team you lose to matters.
Well, what do you mean, Georgia Tech? Matter. I mean, Syracuse is 9-3.
Okay, so that's one mid-loss.
And Georgia Tech almost beat Georgia, so
doesn't make them not 7-5.
Well,
they got blown out by Notre Dame. Like, no, you're trying to make an argument for no. What?
Why can't Miami? Why doesn't Miami get the nod then?
Well, first of all, they're not a conference champion.
Okay.
They didn't make their conference championship game.
All right. Well, their strength of schedule is still better than SMU's.
SMU made their conference championship game.
Yeah.
And had 1 loss. There you go.
But
That's
SMU didn't play a soul just like Boise. You don't
just
think
like
Miami?
Georgia Tech?
Huh?
What do you mean? I don't know your argument. Georgia Tech, or just like Miami didn't play a soul, right?
Yeah.
But SMU didn't play a soul, but they had 1 last loss. That's why they're in.
Yeah, but go look at
championship game.
Go look at SMU's conference schedule, and you tell me that they're better.
What they had 0 ACC losses until Clemson.
It's the same thing with the Indiana thing. I seen it today. I seen it today.
You're shifting. You're moving the goalposts.
People pick it up when it's convenient and it fits their argument. Either these teams are good or they're not. You know what I'm getting at. I mean,
you're wrong. That's the thing you don't understand.
Pick them up. You can't pick them up and say they're good when it fits the argument.
It's very simple. Don't lose 2 regular season games to bad teams.
Now it's 2 games.
Well, now for Miami, because you don't play anybody. At least Alabama played Georgia.
Texas doesn't play anybody either.
They didn't lose 2 regular season games.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going.
I'm just saying.
You're not saying anything.
It's picking it up. It's picking up when it fits the argument.
The argument's very simple.
It's the same thing with the Big Ten thing. It's Penn State. Penn State hasn't played a soul all year besides Ohio State, and that was it.
According to you, that's fine.
Who did Penn State? Who's their best win? Illinois?
That's a ranked win, yeah.
At the time.
It still is. Illinois is number 20 in the country. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. Well, how's LSU? How's Vandy? How's fucking Oklahoma?
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, go up and down the schedule. Go up and down the schedule.
Yeah, I will. And guess what? Penn State lost to 1 team.
Now they lost twice, but
Well,
But I
after
forgot the
champions.
conference championships don't count. I forgot about
No.
that.
Nope.
No, the committee told you that weeks ago. If
And
you
they
forgot,
also
that's
said
on you.
strength of schedule would matter, so that's why Indiana's in.
And it does, but losing matters too.
Oh my God, that is it. This is the weakest shit I've ever seen. This playoff is the weakest shit I've ever seen. We're letting group of 5 teams winning the Mountain West is equal to winning the Big Ten. That's what we have.
Not.
That's what we have lowered.
Is
our
Boise a
standards
1
to.
seed?
I don't think Boise deserves to be in. But.
Anyways, that's fine. You don't have to think that, but you can't tell me.
Look at the TV numbers, and that'll tell you everything.
I don't care about TV numbers.
Yeah, I think so.
Why
I
did?
think the TV.
I think the TV numbers might be up a little bit better because they had Genty running in for Heisman.
Why do TV numbers matter when you're talking about the best football team? I don't care if anybody watches them.
I think if it's shit people don't want to watch, they're not going to pay for it. I think that's very important.
They already paid, so they're going to watch.
We're going to watch the least watched ACC team play Penn State. Yay.
I don't know what you want. What do you want?
I'm excited.
You want a mid-ass Bama team to get in?
I am excited to watch SMU, and I am excited to watch Boise
So
State
you don't actually care about getting the best teams or the most deserving teams in. You just care about watching teams that people want to watch.
I think I would rather watch good games because whoever Boise plays out of the other 11 schools, it would not be a good game.
Maybe.
I mean, it's the same argument with the TCU Georgia national championship, 63-7. Yeah, we found the best team there. The Natty was the week before when Ohio State played Georgia.
I understand. I understand that, but you can't come up with a cohesive argument to why Bama should be in because they shouldn't.
I mean, I'm not even talking about Bama. I was talking
or anybody, in Miami.
Anybody else other than Boise. Give the majority of the teams their schedule, and they fucking walk to the finish line.
That's fine.
And then they're gonna go and you watch because there's language that everybody's forgetting about that's wrote into the Pac-12 agreement, and then they're gonna get a fucking auto bid when that conference sucks. You have Colorado State, Boise.
Well, no, I mean that's not.
And it ain't gonna be a problem. It's not gonna be a problem to the majority of the people that watch our show until Notre Dame gets fucked on this deal. Until a Big Ten team gets fucked on this deal, then it'll be a problem.
Well, no, there's no language. There's no language.
Yes, there is.
No, the top 5 conference champions make it. That's it.
And you watch, it'll be Boise again next year because they don't play a soul.
They already did that this year. What do you mean? It'll
be the last year until they move to the Pac-12 come 2026.
Yeah, so, and it doesn't change. Nothing changes. The top 5 conference champions make it. The top 4 get a bye. Now, that's all going to change. They're going to get rid of the byes. Everything like that's going to change. But it doesn't matter.
It's, all the grandiosing that I've seen all this week, everybody.
This is a good question. Name 3 teams in the playoffs, excluding Notre Dame because everything's out of conference, that played multiple out-of-conference Power 4 teams.
Clemson's one.
Who'd they play other than Georgia out of conference?
Let me look. I got that right here.
Oh, South Carolina, because
South Carolina.
Yeah. So Clemson, that's one.
Yes, Clemson. Hold on, I'm pulling up.
But the SEC told me they shouldn't schedule tough out of conference games because it obviously hurt South Carolina to beat Clemson.
It's gonna be
SMU did. Georgia did. Georgia. Who's Georgia's? I know Clemson. Oh, Georgia Tech. Yeah.
Tech, and while I'm on it, let's just
Reset
look at
the-
this. Let's just look at this. We have impressive wins over Georgia Southern, Portland State, Washington
For who?
State, Utah State, Hawaii,
I don't know who to
UNLV,
read.
Boise State.
Oh, I don't care about Boise State. They won their conference.
They beat Wyoming by 4.
Buddy, they have one loss, and it's to the number 1 team in the country by 3 points. I don't know how you argue anything else.
I mean, if we want to give out participation trophies, that's what we're doing here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, Alabama, why don't you participate in the Oklahoma game?
I'm not even talking about Alabama. I'm just saying, like,
Okay, so if it's not Alabama, who are you putting in over?
I mean, Georgia has an 18-point win over the Ole Miss has an 18-point win over the number 2 team in the country. So what are we doing here?
They also have 3 losses.
And strength of schedule doesn't matter when it's the first thing that they put on their criteria.
No, it matters. It also matters who you lose to. If you lose to those strong teams, it helps you. But if you lose to fucking 5-7 Kentucky at home, sorry.
And Vanderbilt.
They lost
Like,
to Vandy on the road, but
it doesn't matter. Don't lose to shitty teams. That's the moral of the story. That's what
Well,
I'm saying. If Ole Miss lost to fucking Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, those were their 3 losses. All right, argument. Your 3 losses are to fucking Kentucky at home, who is absolute ass, and then Vandy.
But that was in September, though.
I don't give a fuck when it was. Don't lose. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know September didn't count.
I'm sorry. This is America.
Well, I mean, you guys do on this deal. I mean, you guys are giving Ohio State the ultimate pass on this.
On what?
On a late season loss. They didn't hardly get penalized at all.
Buddy, they lost to one bad team. Yeah, they got penalized.
Yeah, they fucking laid an egg at home. 20 point favorites. You think that, that is deserving of a home game? You were a 20-point favorite and you come out and you lay an egg?
I mean, you could make an argument they should have an away game, but you should have a home game over them. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Shouldn't SMU? They have 1 loss. Oh, well, 2 because they lost to Clemson.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Let's pick it up when it's convenient because it fits the argument. Ohio State didn't go to a conference championship game. Why do they deserve a home game?
I mean, they have 2 top 5 wins. One of their 2 losses is to the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, but they didn't play for their conference champion.
Yeah, I understand that. That's not the argument I'm making.
I mean, Penn State got a home game, and Ohio State beat them head to head. So how does that make any sense? So why shouldn't SMU?
Their 2 losses are to the number 1 team and the number 5 team in the country. What do you mean? But
Ohio State beat them head to head.
Yeah, I get that. You could make an argument that Ohio State should be ranked over them, but they gave benefit to the fact that they made the conference championship playoff or the conference championship game. I don't have a problem with that.
So SMU should get that same benefit as well, right?
Well, they got in the playoff. That's the benefit. They were out of the playoff otherwise.
No. They should get the same benefit as Penn State. They made the conference champion. They should get a home game.
Well, they don't have the same resume.
Texas. No. They only have 2 losses. Well, 1 you can't even really hold against them. That's the same. It's the same argument.
No, it's a little different, but yeah.
No, they moved SMU back because they lost, so they penalized them. SMU should get a home playoff game. Texas got 1, and Penn State's got 1. The 2 other losers of their conference championship games.
Sure.
That doesn't make any sense. Ohio State's the only one that sat out and benefited.
I mean, no.
I mean, if it's not made for TV, then why are we playing at the Horseshoe? We should be playing at SMU Stadium.
What? Who? Where do you want SMU? I'm confused. Where do you want SMU ranked?
SMU should be right where they were. They should have a home playoff game. The other teams that participated in their conference champions,
they all fell,
that lost all have home playoff games. Texas and Penn State. The
only
I know,
one but their ranking fell. Like they fell down the polls.
But if you read the rules, they said they weren't going to penalize them. And Clemson's got to go on the road, and they're a conference champion.
Well, yeah, because they wouldn't be in if they didn't win. What do you mean?
Well, I'm just saying, why are we penalizing teams?
Because they didn't win their games? Like, what? Anyways. Yeah, I mean, like, Clemson has 3 losses. That's why they're the 12 seed. Again, don't lose 3 games. They're lucky to be in it.
I'm just saying. I mean, the rules aren't equal, but it's whatever.
The rules
Anyways. We spent way too much time on that playoff talk, but
yes, definitely.
If you're watching out there on do a little show reset here, because we missed 2 of them. If you're watching out there on Twitter, hit the like and subscribe button. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah, and Eric, what's so brutal, man? This is brutal? I don't know. It
is. Watching Duke argue is brutal. I agree.
No, I just want
fucking around.
I just want things to be equal.
No,
and I watched the national pundits completely change and move the goalposts the last 3 weeks. They have moved the goalposts on this whole entire situation because leading up to Ohio State, Indiana, no good. Ohio State smash Indiana suck. Ohio State lay egg to Michigan, Indiana good. Come on. Little consistency.
Well, they flip-flop on everything.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is big news. Big news coming out of I guess South Bend, but of everywhere. We have our Coach of the Year candidates, and Marcus Freeman's a finalist for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. I want to start with Richie. Richie's been quiet. He's been letting Duke and I really get after it.
Yeah, you guys have been really hammering it out.
So, Richie, what do you think? You think he should be Coach of the Year?
I think so. Because that MAC loss totally just almost could have derailed their their chances for the playoffs. He rebounded them, beating the shit out of every single team they played.
Yeah.
They've been playing lights out, both sides of the ball, running game. The defense has been playing lights out. And, I think, give it to him. Signetti? I wouldn't give it to Signetti. I think you give it to Marcus.
So I will give him his flowers because he's a loyal listener, and he did. Yesterday, Duke and I talked about this yesterday, and I said I thought that the Northern Illinois loss would keep him out of contention just because of the fact that he lost to that team. Mm-hmm. But Brennan told us. He told us yesterday, and you're right. That's why he deserves it. He was able to get that team back together after a bad loss, and they're in the college football playoff, and I'm going to tell you in a little bit why they're going to win the national championship.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Carter's got jokes.
That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
I remember my first beer.
Hey, don't worry about it.
So funny, I fell off my dinosaur.
Anyways, Duke, you're going Signetti still, right?
I don't think there's a wrong candidate. I think you got 3 guys, and I think they'll just draw a name out of the hat between him. Between him, Dillingham, and Marcus.
Yeah,
I think
I think you can include SMU's coach. What's his name, dude?
Rhett Lashley.
I think those 4. Any one of them could get it.
I think the biggest thing is it's hard to win coaching awards like winning Big Ten Coach of the Year. Like, you're not going to win that at Michigan or Ohio State.
You know, the last coach to win Big Ten Coach of the Year from Ohio State?
Earl Bruce.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous.
But you know, it's really hard to win those awards like in the last 20 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you could give it to Urban, you could give it to you could do a lot of it.
So Brendan wants to make sure Richie knows. You know who's not winning the Natty and losing first round of Tennessee? Let him know, Brendan. I'm with you, bro.
Hey,
and then
it might. I don't know.
Number 11 hasn't seen a debate like this since Hillary and Trump. As long as I'm Trump, I'm cool.
Put a wig on Duke.
Yeah, Duke is Hillary. We're good. We got it. But I agree. I think you can't go wrong with any of those 4 guys. I think they've done a phenomenal job. I would love for Marcus Freeman to win it, obviously, for a lot of reasons. I wouldn't be upset if they gave it to Sig or if they gave it to Dillingham or Lashley. I think that all 3 are deserving. I would personally give it to probably Dillingham.
He won his conference. They were picked dead last.
I think that's where I would go with it.
Scatta Bobo.
Good old skater, bro. Yeah. But regardless of all that, we do have some Ohio State news. So Ohio State is going to the playoffs. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Playoffs? With this team?
With this team? Don't talk about the playoffs. Shout out Herm Edwards, Arizona State legend.
That was Jim Mora.
Oh, that was. You're right. What was Herm? Herm was something like that.
You play to win.
There you go. That's it. I was like, I know he had a commercial too, but you're right.
Hello.
Right. But Ohio State is obviously facing Tennessee. And have you guys seen the unis they're gonna wear?
They wore the red pants, all scarlet.
Buddy, they are gonna look so fucking good.
They should wear the gray sleeves and not those sleeves. That's my opinion.
So I've heard they're gonna put. I heard they're gonna put the gray stripes on the sleeve. That's what I've heard. I don't know for sure,
okay.
But it's gonna be a scarlet out. They're gonna wear it, and I don't know, man. In my opinion, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but in my opinion, I think teams that feel good, look good,
play good.
And that's just part of it, man. Like I tell you what, when I was playing, you can see my jersey up on the wall there. When we wore our fucking black unis with the camo numbers and we like got decked out, man, I had my best games. So I agree. I think all black would have been sick.
I think it would have been perfect.
I think they wanted to go all red for different marketing reasons and different things.
It's
like
Christmas
that.
time and all that shit, you know.
Yeah, all that. But they are going to look so fucking fly. And I think Notre Dame needs to come out with some real fucking. I think Notre Dame's going to wear all blue.
I wish they would come out with like an inverted red Ohio State helmet. Red helmet, white gray face mask.
Not for this game.
I'm just. They should.
There's going to be.
I know it's not going to happen.
The blue hairs.
Not for this game.
Are going to freak out when they're not.
Fuck the blue hairs. I don't want it.
Fuck them. I don't really give a shit. Their time's almost
no.
up. It's time for the new blood, new generation of
blue hair.
I'm so tired of these fucking blue heads running all this shit. Fuck off. Go drink your prune juice and go to fucking bed.
Yeah. But no, I think what they're doing is great. I think, and I haven't seen, and Brendan, you might know better. I haven't seen what Notre Dame is going to wear, and I want it to be something just.
I want the unis they wore against Georgia Tech, the blue.
Yeah, they're not going to do those, but
the blue with the white pants.
Yeah. Well, they might do those. I thought you were talking against Army, the all blue, like the alternates.
No.
Nah, they probably won't do those. I think I hope they come out with the traditional blue jersey, gold pants, gold helmet. Like, go traditional. I think that's what you need to do if you're Notre Dame, is just go traditional on it and make it. Yeah. No, exactly. Bro, if they wear black, if they come out with some black fucking jerseys or something like that, write it up. Indiana's winning. I'm out on that. Do not give me that. I want that. This is the first playoff game at Notre Dame Stadium. Hopefully not the last. Well, I mean, if we get buys, hopefully. But the first playoff game at Notre Dame Stadium, it needs to look like fucking Notre Dame is playing. Do not come out with some bullshit alternates. And please, for the love of God, don't wear green.
They're going to wear gold jerseys with green helmets and blue pants.
I will shoot you in the face. Please. Give me the blue jerseys, gold pants, gold helmets. Like, give me, like, unless you got something crazy. Like, I love crazy alternates. So if you got something crazy, maybe now's the time to throw it out there, but definitely not black.
I don't know. I go back and forth, which, you guys know me. I am completely I am stick in the mud guy. But I don't think that when you have big games like this, like playoff games, I just think we should just wear our traditional jerseys, because for eye recognition and like brand recognition. Because if I walk into like an airport and they have a game on, like, I want to know that like that's Ohio State or that's Notre Dame. Because for the people that are casuals, they're gonna say, why are they wearing all red? I'm just saying.
Yeah, the casuals don't know what. So like Ohio State has classic uniforms, obviously, but Ohio State wears enough alternates that like casuals don't even know what the
when was the last time
is.
When was the last time they wore an alternate? The all grays against Minnesota?
Yeah, probably.
And the Oregon when they
wore the white pants.
When they wore the white pants, which I see people complaining about that, which is just
it would be sweet if they wore the red pants with the white, or not the red scarlet jersey with the white pants. I think that'd be a clean look with the black helmet.
Yeah. They're not gonna do it. But
I know they won't do it.
Anyways, let's jump. Go ahead.
It took them 25 years to let Tressel wear the throwbacks. Like,
the throwbacks were garbage.
Except the cannonball helmets. I like those.
Yeah,
all
those
black.
Cool.
The all black
cannonball. I love the white stripe chrome helmet. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. I'll tell you what sucked were the ones with the fucking 1942 on the side.
Yeah.
Well, I think they just had like a medal on the back because it was something to do with World War II. Oh, I remember.
Anyways, we won. We don't have to broadcast it.
Yeah, we do.
2-time World War champs. What's up, America?
Undefeated, baby.
Anyways, so let's get into what I think is the topic du jour, what we've talked about all year. And I dove into it because I got to be honest with you guys, and Notre Dame fans who are listening, this is your moment. I have fought this moment the entire year because I've been a big I guess hater, but like I don't hate him. I just am real about him. But Riley Leonard has been not so impressive for the most part. Yeah, go ahead.
One last reset of the show before we close it out.
Yeah,
because we missed the first mark by like 14
minutes.
We
get rolling. We get rolling, bro.
Yeah, if you're watching out there on YouTube, come on over to or if you're watching on Twitter, come on over to YouTube. We got plenty of people in the chat tonight livening it up. I don't know if an opportunity arises, we might do a live show at a watering hole in South Bend. Somebody reaches out, somebody's got some suggestions. Maybe, I don't know. We might be able to get something on the books. I don't know, just depending on the schedule. And I do have an in possibly 4 tickets, Carter. You're going to have to hang out after the show for that one because I might be able to get us some cheap tickets. But also, we're thinking about maybe if an opportunity arises to do a live show, hit the like and subscribe button, blast this out. If somebody that, knows somebody that owns a bar that would like to host us, and we go all the way up into the game and then maybe watch the game in South Bend. So that is a possibility. We can go hang out. It's totally up to you guys, but hit the like and subscribe button and follow us on Apple Podcasts.
Sorry, bro. I gotta put it up. Richie sat there like a kid that
He's right. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to say.
Bro, anyways, we won't get back into it. But Brandon, I agree. I think that you're a Notre Dame fan, so of course that's what you think, because there is nothing better than traditional schools being traditional. And so for most people, that's first of all, Michigan. I don't think they've ever worn alternates. No, they have, but they're trash. Notre Dame wears alternates occasionally, but their traditional ones are in Alabama. You never see them go away from the normal ones. And I think certain schools, that is what is expected, and that is what should happen. And I think Ohio State falls into that category, but I do love some of their alternates. So, anyways, yes, definitely we should do a live show if we can. Anybody that knows anybody in South Bend, DM me, CBSmith3 on Twitter, whatever. Just you can find me.
And shout out Brendan. He sent us a DM on Twitter that I didn't see until I went to the message request.
Jesus Christ.
So
DM me directly. It might work better. God.
So,
but so here's what I'm going to say. I think Riley Leonard might secretly be the best quarterback in the college football playoffs. And here's why. Well, Duke just left, or maybe not.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
So I've heard a lot of people, and I've said it all year long. Brendan breaks it down perfectly. He's not been that unimpressive. It's just more that he's really good at what he's good at. Easy throws, running the ball. The receivers haven't been helping him. That's for sure. But Riley Leonard, the past 7 games, has been far more impressive than I even realized. And I'm just going to give you some stats because I think that I listen to a lot of national shows or shows that aren't necessarily Notre Dame focused, just to get a better landscape of what's going on in college football and to see what people think about Notre Dame. Because right now Notre Dame is so nationally relevant that a lot of shows, a lot of programs, a lot of people are talking about Notre Dame that wouldn't normally. And so I like to hear what they have to say to see how accurate they are or how accurate I believe they are. And the consensus I've heard for the past couple weeks is Notre Dame's bad. Notre Dame has been good on defense, but Riley Leonard sucks, and this team has no shot. That's what I've heard from the national shows. That's what I've heard from everybody that is just now tuning in to Notre Dame. Quite honestly, what I believe is they watched the Texas A&M game, they saw the Northern Illinois loss, and they stopped paying attention because why would you? Right. But here's the thing that I want to point out, because I think there's some shows out there that could learn a thing or two by listening or looking at the stats or looking at the film. Over the last 7 games, Riley Leonard's QBR is almost 170. He's averaging 2 passing touchdowns a game. In the last 7 games, he's only thrown 3 interceptions, averaging almost about 200 yards a game passing, which is not like lighting it on fire in yards. But he also averages 50 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. He is one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the playoffs. He's more efficient than Quinn Ewers. He's more efficient than Carson Beck, who is dead. He's more efficient than Will Howard.
No.
You mean the greatest Ohio State quarterback ever to lace him up? Next to Craig Krenzel?
Sorry. And on top of that, he is more of a running threat than any other quarterback in the college football playoffs other than SMU's quarterback, who I think has a little bit better rushing stats, but is not quite as good as passing. And so Riley Leonard, to me, given what he's asked to do, is maybe the best quarterback in the college football playoffs because he knows his role and he's really good at it. And he has gotten far better at the deep ball. That's something that Duke and I talked a lot about in the preseason and early in the season. He couldn't throw the deep ball. He's still not great at it, but neither is Will Howard. Will Howard sucks at it. But I'll tell you one thing. If it's windy, they're still going to throw it. And on top of that, Notre Dame, do you know what Notre Dame's odds are to win the entire playoff, to win the Natty? Where do you think they rank? There's 12 teams in.
Probably around
11.
11? Okay.
Probably right. No, Richie's probably thinking right in front of Boise, but no, I would say it's plus 500 or 600.
So they have the 6th best odds at plus 550. So yeah, Duke, you're pretty close.
Oh, good for Duke.
6th best odds, only behind Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and I believe Penn State is right in front of them.
And some people that thought that they are really, really sharp on the gambling clip, which I'm going to go out there and say that there were certain teams ranked in certain spots because of their fan bases for Vegas to entice them to bet on them. It's not that they believed in them. It's because they have a big fan base and they like to bet.
Yep. And I'm gonna show this comment real quick before I jump into the last step. Riley is really good. I don't disagree. I think Riley is good. I think he's really good for what they're asking him to do. I agree with that. He's definitely not Cam Ward, but he doesn't turn it over as much as Cam Ward. He is, I hate to say it, he's white Cam Ward.
Hey, real quick, while we've brought Cam Ward in Miami up, can we give a round of applause to Deion Sanders and Mario Cristobal by making the top guys play in the bowl game? Like, seriously. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. The sitting out of the bowl game, that I consider that quitting on the team.
Oh, it's for sure. It's for quitting on the team.
But
Lewis here does have, as far as passing efficiency, I would agree with Lewis on this one. For what?
Yes, right, that's not that all that goes into it, but yeah.
But as far as that on the bowl game thing, I think these kids should play in the bowl game because the NFL thing is like at some point we're going to come to like an impasse because there's going to be like guys that don't work out, then they don't play in the bowl game. Like Luther Burton opts out. Like, dude, you've had 3 years to get ready for the fucking NFL. What's playing one more game? Oh wait, you didn't like.
So this is a funny stat or like funny comment that I heard today was college football is the only thing that people opt out of to get less tape to go to the pros.
Exactly.
Like in baseball, in basketball, you never see somebody opt out of the March Madness tournament. Why? No. Because you need as much tape as possible to get drafted. Major League Baseball, you never see somebody opt out of the College World Series. You never see somebody opt out of their senior season of high school baseball. Why? Because you need as many at-bats as possible to show your tape, to get drafted as high as possible. And for some reason, college football has just fell into this mold of like, I already have enough on tape.
Who was the first person to do that? Who was the first person to opt out? Was it Jadeveon Clowney?
No, I think it was probably before that.
No,
But-
Clowney. It was right after. It was the year after Jeremiah Smith of Fort Wayne that played at Notre Dame exploded his knee.
Well, no, I think people opted out before that too, but it just wasn't as prevalent. But that one, not Jeremiah Smith, but yeah, Jalen Smith. Yeah, exactly. But regardless of what anybody thinks, on top of all that, and you can say Leonard's not the best quarterback in the CFP. I agree he's not the best quarterback, but he is probably the best player that plays quarterback. And we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot. Listen, Gabriel's going to have his moment, but I saw Gabriel against Ohio State he looked good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you right now, if Oregon wins a natty, Dylan Gabriel is going to have to be phenomenal because they don't have an easy path.
I think the way that this was another argument I seen by Chase Parham of MPW Digital. We went through our playoff spiel on that, and then there was still people complaining about the seeding. Well, Ward Manuel kind of like said, well, you told me to pick 12 teams. You didn't tell me to seed them. I can't argue with that. I just it's really, really rough on trying to put every team into a box and see who's good because everybody plays like a different schedule. Like Notre Dame plays a national schedule, Ohio State plays a Big Ten schedule, Tennessee plays an SEC schedule. It's hard to
do it. But I do want to ask, just out of curiosity, because I think this shocked a lot of people. Do you know who the top scoring offenses are in the college football playoff?
I would say Notre Dame's got to be in there.
Number 3. I
would say Indiana's got to be in there.
Number 6, I think, or 5.
Oregon,
yeah. Oregon's up there. But everybody wants to talk about Notre Dame being mid. And it's like, bro, they score more points than most of the teams. They have one of the best defenses in college football. I'm telling you right now, I am very confident in this. I think Notre Dame beats Indiana. I think Notre Dame gives Georgia a fucking hell of a game.
I picked Notre Dame to beat Georgia.
I agree.
It depends.
Go ahead.
It just depends on what Georgia's offense is going to look like with the backup. Because I would say
I'm not too confident that they're going to even get out of the second round with that backup.
And the problem you have, I guess it's a benefit of having the bye. They're going to get 2 weeks to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
I
don't think Indiana and Notre Dame have had 2 weeks to figure it out too.
Well, I mean, going forward, as far as because you're going to have no tape on the second half at Texas, and that was still Carson.
You know what he is, but yeah. No, I agree with you. But let's get these comments. I saw this. I didn't watch the podcast yet, but I saw this. RG3 had Marcus Freeman, Riley Leonard, and Jordan Love on. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw it like a clip of it on Twitter or something like that. But I haven't watched it yet. Of course, Riley Leonard's gonna stand up for his guy, but yeah, I mean, I think that it was really cool. The one clip I saw of Marcus Freeman was talking about the Heisman, and he thinks that Travis Hunter should win it. I don't disagree with him. I think Ashton Genty is the best player in college football, but what Travis Hunter's done is undeniable. But before we get out of here, I'm curious, what don't you agree with? Because I saw this after what we said. I'm curious what you don't agree with, because a lot of what I said I used to not agree with. So I'm curious what it is specifically.
I mean, we've been doing this ever since the beginning of the season, and the team is what they are what they are. They're a predominantly power run team. They're going to run a lot of. That's funny. They're gonna run a lot of zone at you. Price and Love are the key to winning the college football playoff. And can Riley Leonard make enough plays to keep the offense rolling, to stay ahead of the chains?
Yeah, I agree completely. Give us the Chip Kelly format, 64 independent. All right. Vanilla Vic. We got a Vanilla Vic coming in. I love that. Absolutely going to roll IU. I would say he's a threat with his legs. J. Love Price in the backfield. I agree. He does kind of look like a who, though. I agree with this comment. He does, like, crying belly. Like, first of all,
I saw that name.
First of all, fucking W on the name there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
that's great. And as always, before we end the show, as always, fuck Brian Kelly. That's just
fake accent
off my chest. Fake accent, fucking douchebag motherfucker. Anyways, but we do have something special for the listeners out there. All you guys in the chat, everybody out there, DM either the show, DM me, CB Smith 3 on Twitter, the Carter 3 on the Carter 3. I don't know. Anyways, find me wherever. We have a bracket challenge that we put out there. Richie put it together. Shout out Rich. And if you search on ESPN's bracket challenge, Andre Duke show or Andre Duke or Carter Smith, it'll pop up. Password is Laces Out, capital L, nothing else. Laces Out 2024. Jump in CB as in boy, CB Smith 3. And but Laces Out 2024 on ESPN's bracket challenge. Join the bracket. It's a $20 buy-in. We haven't figured it out or talked about it, but I figure winner takes all, or
I think winner takes all.
Like second place gets money back. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But $20. We'll Venmo Rich. He'll handle it all. And then pick your brackets. Jump in there, and we'll keep a tally as we do these shows. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, Andre Duke Show at Carter Smith, or the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith on Instagram and Twitter, all that. But like and subscribe on Instagram or on YouTube, everywhere. Just like and subscribe.
Yep. With that being said, yeah, bracket challenge. Yes, we got that coming up. So, I got nothing else, fellas. You guys done?
Yeah, we're good, man.
With that being said, hit the like and subscribe button. We're trying to blow this thing up. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of the year. So with that being said, like and subscribe this thing up. If you're watching on Twitter, yes, Brendan, go Irish. Hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this show. With that being said, we'll see you back here tomorrow at 7:30. Everybody have a good night.
Good night, everybody.